What's up, everybody? Nostalgia Goggles 4-3 here. After last night's performance, I can't even put on the Stoudemire jersey. But tonight is a new game. New game against a team we've defeated twice before, the Milwaukee Bucks. Hope you're all doing well tonight. Just grabbing my lineup card real quick. Bear with me. Let's destroy something beautiful. What's up, Spitz the Greatest? Revenge. Actually, I think you'll bear with me another moment. I actually think that the Bucks might have been the team that we played, now that you say that, after the Sonics loss as well. Let me check the schedule real quick. Oh, first I'll set up the lineup, I guess. So we got Murdoch, Starch, Ruffin, check. Yeah, it was. We had the Sonics and then the Bucks. Now, after last night, the Blazers and then the Bucks. Coincidence? Simmons. That's poor. Yeah, don't fear the deer. Pity them. Don't fear them. Miller and Earl. This is a brand new lineup we're trying here. These are the only of 4 of the 5 players. Murdoch didn't, but we already said we're going to lock. And imagine those players last night were like, oh no, not again. Yeah. It's true. I think we beat them by like 75 last time. Anyway, Ruffin, Simmons, Miller, and Earl were the only 4 players on our team to have a positive plus-minus last night. So they get to start, and this is Murdoch's old team, so it is time for him to take a crack at being locked. And then we'll learn if it was being locked on Stoudemire that was the problem, or just being locked on point guards in general. But first, shout out to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. 10% of anything I make tonight goes to them, doing leading vision research. Check them out. There's a direct support link in my Twitch profile or in the YouTube description if you're there. You had a lot of chocolate milk tonight. We're off to a better start. All the colors are correct. It seems that the technical difficulties are gone from whatever disaster was happening last night. It was just bad all around. No 2-minute delay. So angry that you missed last night. Hey man, you got to do what you got to do. And it's not like the stream was working particularly well. Anyway, we couldn't have had these conversations. By the time I got your coaching advice, it would have been 2 minutes too late. All right, let's go Sherman Douglas, Johnny Newman, Glenn Big Dog Robinson, Vin Baker, Eric Mobley. Not going to happen. Man, I hate seeing that too over there next to that 44. All right. It's a sign. We tipped off directly to the guy I was going to lock. I got a good feeling about tonight, Spitz the Greatest. Player locked. All right. We'll take it. Off to a great start. Nice. They're all collapsing. I saw the tape from last night. Bounces are falling. Well, there goes the shutout. Beautiful drive. Sean Respert, potential future Raptor. With the charge. I don't think so, Sherman Douglas. Ugh. So what was happening last night too. Started off okay, then we started bricking 2-foot jumpers. It was horrible. Having flashbacks. There we go. Nicely done. I know you're angry you missed last night. I'm angry I was there. Ellis is in the doghouse for you. Huh? That's fair. You want to trade him? Send him back to Denver? Oh. I don't usually get called for those. Maybe after last night's loss, I'm losing my touch. I don't get the preferential treatment anymore. Let's not be rash. Right. We're very measured here at Nostalgia Goggles for 3. We the North. How much time is left? Come on, Miller. What were you doing? I saw what you were doing. I don't know why you were doing it. Nicely done. Nice moves. All right. Bounces are making me very nervous. Oh. Not standing in the right spot to prevent that. What was that? What was that? Ha. What was that? All right. Guys had a plus minus a 0. Not ideal. The game's going crazy. Murray, Simmons, Massenberg, Earl. We'll try this lineup. Whoa. I'm not sure why that went in, but I will take it. Oh, the hook. Very difficult to defend. And they have in Benoit Benjamin. player for whom we acquired Eric Murdoch. And I just scored over him. Very satisfying. Benjamin, the only Raptor this season to, well, unless things take a turn for the very worst, the only Raptor this season to average a negative PM for their entire time with us. This lineup's feeling better. I know +4 in that amount of time isn't super dramatic. Yep, there's a lot of that. Nice work, Tony. Field goal percentage is coming back. Nice, Massenberg. Woo! Good timeout, Milwaukee. Try and Lee Mayberry. Whoa! Huh. Eric Mobley in real life also included in the Benjamin trade. That shot was more like a pass. It was a good pass. It's a terrible shot. A good pass. Oh, that was also a nice pass. Oof. Nice. There it is. I take nothing for granted. We were up by 21 at the half last night. Lost by 6. All right, Tony. No? Oops. I was trying to take the shot. But never ball. I was up by 21. Yep. I just couldn't do it. The lineup that had a PM of 11 in the first half went -8 in the second half. That was our biggest deficit. I let them run for a little bit because they did so well at the beginning. And then all of our lineups just did poorly. No one egregiously awful. I mean, most of the rest of them were just like -4, but there were just, you know, like 4 or 5 -4 lineups, and that adds up. Get that board. Why didn't I get that board? Nice. Good decision, Earl. So no one did terribly. Did the AI just get hot? Well, I mean, the AI was pretty cold too. I mean, we were shooting 30% from the field in the third quarter. So considering they only won by 6, they were also cold. It was just no, but it was just really an ugly game of basketball all around. Nope. Neither team got to 100. Which, that we were shooting 30% from the field? Yeah. It was like 12% from 3. To lose a game when you were up by 21, yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer as to what happened. All right, so that lineup is a +10. So we'll see them again. I did have one lineup that did a little better than I thought, that I should have put back in, but didn't. We're gonna give Ellis a go. Pinckney and Rogers. I do think, I mean, even that other lineup that had the plus minus of 14, it was still pretty ugly. We weren't shooting well. We just were doing better on defense, so we were able to extend the lead a bit. But yeah, I think if it were not for the technical difficulties, I would have been more inclined to notice that. There we go. Real nice. Also, Stoudemire fouled out. First time we've had anybody foul out this season. So we got that going for us. He was also not on track to get to 100, even if he hadn't fouled out. Oh, Benjamin gets his revenge. So that's a good way to look at it. At about the same point in the game, Stoudemire had made about 14 instead of 19, which means that we would have 8 fewer points, which means we'd only be up by 6. Percentages matter. But I was doing roughly the same thing I'm doing with Murdoch, and I don't think he's got significantly higher offensive ratings than Stoudemire. I'd have to check. Wow. Funny, last night was a set of unique circumstances, crippling technical difficulties. Whoa. A larger audience than normal, a player foul out, a poor shooting night by Ellis. Sounds like a lot of things were just off. Yeah, it's true. Astonishing rebounding by Murdoch tonight. Very impressed. You made the right call. So that's the greatest. Those of you who are relatively new to the stream, Spitz the Greatest was actually, the one who was advocating most for acquiring Murdoch when we traded Benjamin. I was about set to send him to Seattle for Sam Perkins. But it's been a real boon for us. Oh, come on. Just gotta do it the hard way, I guess. That was super picky. Come on, EA Canada. Give me a break. But yeah, I mean, did I describe to you, or did you watch the end of the game last night? It was a real heartbreaker. I had just given up. We were down by 5 with a minute and a half to go. And then we stole the ball, popped it over to Ellis. Ellis hit a 3, down by 2 with a minute and a half to go. Ellis stole the ball again, and then bricked the shot really badly. Milwaukee got the rebound. We'd never had another shot. But we were that close. If Ellis had made that other shot, I don't even remember if I took a 3 or a 2. I think it was a 3, but either way, like, we would have at least gone into overtime potentially. And then at the end, I couldn't even intentionally foul them. It was bad. I was trying to stop the clock, and they just kept running away. That was another plus 10 lineup. Murdoch. Ruffin. King. Massenberg. And Miller. At that point, it looks like everyone who is suited up tonight has been in the game. Ruffin, Murdoch, King, Massenberg, Miller. Reminds me of that story you were telling me about in The Long Dark, a convergence of things that you just couldn't overcome. Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. Series of bad decisions. I should have given up on Stoudemire getting 100 sooner. That's probably the biggest tactical mistake I made. I should have switched to a three-point shooter once it became apparent that things were going south. The problem was he was like on the bubble of being able to do it. Like he had 41 or 42 at the half, I think. So it like seemed doable. And certainly Murdoch is on pace to get at least 60 points in this half. Yeah, the attack difficulties were definitely frustrating and definitely threw me off. Nice, King. I'd like to think if you'd been there, he would have been telling me to bail on him earlier. Yeah, but I mean, for those who weren't here, the technical difficulties in part were that most of the people watching, although not all of them, were on about a 2-minute delay. I was getting the chats in real time, but it was showing things that had happened about 2 minutes in the past. So even if you had told me when you'd seen it, might not have been enough. Ugly shot. Wow. Murdoch is getting the most points from ugly shots award at the end of the night, for certain. Yeah, I don't understand how the chat was live, but the action was 2 minutes behind. Like it got to the point that I stopped talking to people responding. I was actually typing in the chat, and we were conversing real time, and they were telling me like what the game clock was saying and what they were watching. And it was about 2 minutes off. It was super weird. Which is why I don't think it's all me. Some of it's certainly me. My laptop was showing red for a lot of things, but like I'm inclined to say at least some of it's on Amazon. That was nice. How's the delay today? I believe we're real time. But here's something really strange, Mike Lisi. Is that I was talking to another guy after you dropped off, and he said he tried it on his phone, was having issues, put it on his Roku on his TV, and the Roku was real time and his phone was 2 minutes behind. So, go figure. Oh, no. Yeah, delay measured in seconds would have been much better than delay measured in minutes. Anyway, thanks for coming back, Mike Lisi. I do appreciate it. There he is, Tony. Oh, couldn't quite chase it down. Trevor Ruffin. Oh. Buffalo zone. Well, last night we were up by 21 at the half. Tonight we're up by 23. So maybe we'll only lose by 4. That's a much better looking stat line. We're taking Eric Murdoch to 100 tonight, Mike Lisi. That's the goal. Who is the first player in the Pacers NBA history to grab more than 20 boards 3 times in the same season? I don't know. Rick Smits or Dale Davis? I'm going to go Rick Smits. Why not? I'm also going to say thank you to our patrons. Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Spitz the Great, Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder, thank you for your support. I appreciate it. And 10% of anything I make tonight goes to the Retina Foundation of the Southwest. They're trying to save vision in the very old and very young, world pioneering research into saving sight, as their slogan indicates. Please support them. All right, so we are up 23, which means that lineup felt good, but it was not actually all that good because we were up 20 when they went in. So I got one more group to try, and then we'll stick with the winners. Duck, Murray, King, Pinckney, and Rogers. There we go. So, Mike, to answer one of your questions from last night, I'm not sure if you got the reply. When you asked if we were pinging from the moon, Amazon has us going through the Montreal server, which makes sense given that we are a Canadian team, live from Toronto, Ontario. In a sense, we're also live from Montreal, Quebec. Bonjour, ça va? There you go, Carlos Rogers, Spitz. That's how he does it. Getting in the passing lanes. Being disruptive. Oof. Is that a behind the back pass? Hand it off. Wow. That was a great stuff. Turns out you can't block a layup from behind him. The big dog Robinson's trying to. That makes me feel better. I gotta watch it with those long inbound passes. Really go well. Go, Pinckney, go! Wow. Triple teamed Ed Pinckney, even though Murdoch scored 66 in the first half. Gotta love that Milwaukee defense. Fear the deer. Ooh! Picked him out. That one's for you, Spitz the Greatest. Patronate or buy a bucket tier. Thank you for your support. Oh! That was definitely out of bounds. Thank you for the heart. Happy St. Valentine's Day. Is the heart purple because we lost last night? All right. That looks pretty exact. Thank you. The only heart you have. Well, you know what? It's Raptors purple too, so we'll take it. Look at that consistency. Eventually. Good drive. All right, this game looks like it's pretty well under control. So I'm going to bring up something I've actually been meaning to bring up the last few games, and I keep forgetting or not having a good occasion to do so. I've been listening to a lot of music that I liked in high school recently. I don't really know what started it. It just kind of worked out that way. And I found that I'm really struggling to with early Green Day as an adult. Like, I'm coming back and I'm finding it hard to remember the me who related to it. Hot take, Green Day was never good. Yeah, that certainly could be. But it was just interesting. Like, a lot of stuff I like. I wouldn't say that I, can still relate to it now, but I can at least remember why I did at one time. But with that, it was just like, I don't know. I mean, I never smoked, and I wasn't that bored or angry, I don't think. Maybe I was. I don't know. Anyway, and then on the other end of the spectrum, I've been listening to a fair bit of Pink Floyd, and man, do I ever relate to that much more and understand now. I've been really impressed with the depth of their I'd always thought they were a little bit of a downer. That was kind of their MO, but like they really nailed the like middle class like existential dread thing. It's things you don't appreciate until you have the life experience, I guess. Say the same thing to my kids sometimes. They'll ask to like watch certain movies or TV shows if they come up in conversation, and I'll say no, and they'll be like, "Why? Is it not appropriate?" Or like, "What? It's PG." Like, well, I understand it's PG, but you don't have the life experience to appreciate it yet. You would just watch it and say that was boring. Like 12 Angry Men is one that came to mind recently. That's funny. Waters was giving an interview a number of years ago, and he said something to the effect of, "Man, I was an angry young man. I can't remember why." Yeah, I mean, I certainly remember being angry in high school, don't get me wrong, but not about the sorts of things that early Green Day was angry about. There we go. So see, this is what's starting to worry me a little bit. Like, now we're only up 23. That means these guys have dropped quite a few since they came in. But this was our best lineup in the first half. Oh, that was pretty bad. Hit him. Thanks, Earl. Thanks for trying. That was dangerous. just about standing out of bounds. Ian Budget. I think it's totally normal for your taste to change radically from 17 to 34. Spotify released something about that, actually, that I found really interesting. I'm going to make up these numbers because I don't remember exactly, but it was something along the lines of most people, because I guess Spotify has people's ages. I don't remember if they give it to, if you give it to them or they just buy it. But anyway, it said that people's musical tastes tend to solidify when they're around college age or like early 20s. Because I shouldn't say college age, because not everyone goes to college. Anyway, early 20s. And then you tend to listen to music from that era until you're in your early 40s. And then you start listening to what's like contemporary again for a little while, and then by the time you hit your 50s, you kind of go back to what was popular in your young adulthood. So their conclusion was basically that, like, on average, people have a musical midlife crisis. Nope. All right. Certainly doing better than last night. All right. Rick Smits or Dale Davis? I'm going to go with Rick Smits. Dale Davis. Ah. Should have trusted my instincts. Was not Larry Bird. That's the greatest. Although he is from Indiana. Home crowd just shocked I got the trivia question wrong. Giving contemporary music a shot. Most of it you don't like, and you don't think that means that you're wrong. Stuff that you do like is very similar to the old music you like. For instance, Lana Del Rey is pretty legit. I've never actually listened to her stuff that I know of. Like, I mean, I might have heard it on the radio. I might recognize something, but I've heard the name. My tastes are definitely pretty different. I listen to significantly more hip hop and rap than I did when I was younger. A lot less metal. There's some contemporary stuff I like. I do like Adele. Ah, good try. Mostly, honestly, it's the auto-tune thing, and I think that is part of what draws me to hip-hop. Like, I'm a lot more inclined to listen to something like a Post Malone, for example, than a, like a, I don't know, Ed Sheeran. There we go. But that's honestly not even like another band from that I hadn't listened to in years that I came back to recently was The Offspring, which they hold up better for me than Green Day does, even though I liked Green Day more at the time, I think. But like, you know, you listen to Smash, and then you listen to Ixnay and the Ombre, and then if you put Americana on right after that, like you can hear the computers. And I mean, Americana's a lot more produced in general than their earlier stuff, but still, like the auto-tune makes a difference. And it's a similar story with like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and a lot of these groups from around that era. All right, was that it? I think that was it. Maybe not. That might be 98. 98. All right, one more. Timeout, Milwaukee. Yawn 100. Yeah, well, you know. Wow, Rustford getting punchy. Better be careful, man. You're gonna be playing with this guy soon, maybe. All right. Ugh. Little help. Ugh. There goes the hot streak. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, anticlimactic. There it is, 100. Not with a bang, but a whimper. All right, Tony, take that in. No? All right. Whoa! Give and go. No. Counted that as a block, huh? It's a little generous. That, bad pass. My fault. Murray from way out. Almost from where those Amazon servers will be in the future. Stream this from the past to the future. Whoa. All right, Tony, take that in. No, that's ACRL. That's not. Shoot it. Bad decision. I was hoping for a hook shot. Oh, Tracy. No. There you go. Take that in, Earl. No? Not going to do it. Great. That one purchased by Dr. Ambassador Dortmunder. Patronate our Buy a Bucket tier. Been trying to get Tim Troy a Massenburg one while I still can. Off the ball, huh? And there it is. We snap our losing streak before it starts. Though not by a lot. All right, Tony, this is you. Yeah, this is actually very similar to what happened last night. We were up by a little more, and we didn't fall as dramatically. Shoot it, Tony! Dig it in! Is that a pick? No? Come on, Tony. Come on, Simmons. Which makes me wonder if some of it is just player locking on the point guard in general. That is true. Which, I mean, makes some sense. We've seen earlier that the point guards tend to be the most dominant in the game. And they, so whoever I'm locked on, if they don't park under the basket. Whoa, okay, that one from Tim Troy, humanitarian and philanthropist. Well, because of the way that I'm playing defense. So, as we've no doubt discussed, I usually park under the basket because if I don't, that happens. But the point guards are also the most dominant players on the AI's end. So if I'm parked under the basket, that leaves people like Sherman Douglas, Lee Marbury open on the perimeter, and then they make more shots. At least that's my theory. Well, I wouldn't say we destroyed them, but we did win. Murdoch double-doubles, joins the 100 club. Congratulations. Much better than last night. Other than their three-point shooting, which is terrible. Actually, even that was much better than last night. There we go. Murdoch may have missed quite a bit, at least he got his own rebounds. And 4 assists. Unselfish play, this 100-point game. Yeah, you can see Douglas had 24. I mean, Vin Baker has been unusually dominant for a big in this game against us. We had Douglas had 24, and Mayberry had 23. Whatever we do, we need to put our best foot forward in the playoffs. Agreed. I don't want to drag that out any longer than is necessary. Got a schedule to keep. I do plan to, assuming that the trade deadline moves work out as I'm expecting them to at this point, based on the current patron votes. I don't know if we probably won't be able to use any of the lineup data that we've collected so far. I mean, we have a good sense of player tendencies and what things look like. Yeah, it's that third. Look at the difference between the first half and the second half. Very similar to last night. Murdoch, so again, this is probably going to be pretty close. Yeah. I also find it heartening that the teams that have given us the most trouble so far this season have been Western Conference teams. Whoa, oh no, that's not earlier than it should have been. So next time is the All-Star game. I haven't quite honestly figured out what I'm going to do about that. You're on the Saturday Spit's Greatest. Mike Lisi. Might try to get it in over the actual All-Star weekend. Or I might just simulate it, because they can't, doesn't have any of my players anyway. Alright, we'll see how it goes. Thanks very much for tuning in, I appreciate it. Next game, I can tell you for sure, we'll be playing the Heat on Monday, and we'll figure out what to do about the All-Star game. And then, I guess we're playing the Heat again on Monday. Double logo there. Anyway, thanks so much. Hope you all have an excellent evening.